Mustafa Suleyman, CEO of Microsoft AI specifically. He has written a think piece. He's also written a great book, which you should pick up as well. His think piece is called "We Must Build AI for People, Not to Be a Person." I'm pretty sure this is going to be a reaction to the GPT-5 debacle over the last couple of weeks and the fact that a lot of people saw GPT-4o as a person, and a lot of people have anthropomorphized it and actually given it names. And then when it was removed and replaced with GPT-5, there was a lot of upset, a lot of distress caused by that move. And Suleyman is saying we must build AI for people, not to be a person. And he's coined a term called seemingly conscious AI, SCAI. Not the best term, but I see what he's getting at. So it's something that we as humans, we believe in their consciousness, which is, if we haven't passed the Turing Test by now, I'm pretty sure the behavior last week with 4.0 has shown that we've well and truly trounced the Turing Test. I'm just going to read his summary because it's quite a long article, but go and look it up. It's on mustafasuleyman.ai and it's doing the rounds. Lots of people are reading this right now, but I'll read the summary for now. AI progress has been phenomenal. A few weeks ago, talk of conscious AI would have seemed crazy. Today, it feels increasingly urgent. In this essay, I want to discuss what I'll call seemingly conscious AI, SCAI, SCAI, one that has all the hallmarks of other conscious beings and thus appears to be conscious. It shares certain aspects of the idea of philosophical zombie, one that simulates all the characteristics of consciousness, but internally it is blank. This is a big question, like how can we tell that other people are conscious? We only have kind of their inputs and outputs to go by. We don't really know what's going on inside someone else's head. And it's really hard to define human consciousness. We've been having this discussion, philosophers, psychologists, scientists, for millennia now, and we haven't really pinned it down. So to ascribe it to an artificial intelligence is, again, it's fiddly, difficult. My imagined AI system would not actually be conscious, this is Suleyman again, but it would imitate consciousness in such a convincing way that it would be indistinguishable from a claim that you and I might make to one another about our own consciousness. So this is a tweak of the Turing Test, the imitation game. He's used the word indistinguishable. This is really important. So in the original imitation game, later called the Turing Test, Turing was not interested in whether or not, or what was inside the black box, basically. He did not care because he knew that was less important than the function. The fact that if you could not tell whether you were talking to a computer or not, if it was indistinguishable from interacting with a human, that was sufficient to pass the imitation game. Because he knew that trying to pin down concepts of human intelligence and what is human intelligence, he knew that was difficult. So trying to, again, ascribe it to a computer was going to be impossible. It was not a problem that he wanted to solve. So instead he talked about, okay, we focus on indistinguishability. If a human cannot tell, then it has passed the test. It did not matter whether or not the computer in the middle was intelligent or not, because that is a very hard to solve problem because we don't have a good definition. So it looks like Suleyman is going the same way. It would imitate consciousness in such a convincing way that it would be indistinguishable from a claim that you and I may make to one another about our own consciousness. This is not far away. Such a system can be built with technologies that exist today, along with some that will mature over the next 2 to 3 years. No expensive bespoke pre-training is required. Everything can be done with large model API access, natural language prompting, basic tool use, and regular code. The arrival of seemingly conscious AI is inevitable and unwelcome. Instead, we need a vision for AI that can fulfill its potential as a helpful companion without falling prey to its illusions. So he's talking here about AI psychosis, which is a new and scary term, a very 2025 term. To some, this discussion will feel ungrounded, more science fiction than reality. Tell me about it. To others, it may feel unnecessarily alarmist. Such emotional reactions are the tip of the iceberg given what lies ahead. It's highly likely that some people will argue that these AIs are not only conscious, but that as a result they may suffer and therefore deserve our moral consideration. Ooh. To be clear, there is zero evidence of this today, and some argue there are strong reasons to believe that it will not be the case in the future. Yet the consequences of many people starting to believe an SCAI, seemingly conscious AI, is actually conscious deserve our immediate attention. We have to be extremely cautious here and encourage real public debate and begin to set clear norms and standards. This is about how we build the right kind of AI, not AI consciousness. Clearly establishing this difference isn't an argument about semantics, It's about safety. Personality without personhood. Ooh, I love that. And this work must start now. So I highly recommend you go and find this article. If you Google seemingly conscious AI is coming, then it will pop up for you. Of course, it got some media coverage, but instead of a nuanced discussion of what he's talking about, instead the BBC headline is Microsoft boss troubled by rise in reports of AI psychosis. So they jumped straight to the scary bit, which is AI psychosis, which is seemingly a very real phenomenon, something that we need to tackle, but it's part of a larger, broader discussion of how we interface and interact with AI in the future. And AI psychosis is the sensational. It's the tip of the iceberg here. It's what's going to grab the headlines, but it's the relative minority compared to the interactions of humans with AI in general. Most of us can use it without falling into AI psychosis. I'm pretty sure of that. But there are still impacts of using AI, especially when we start to become attached without us having to lose touch with reality. So go and have a look at the paper. I'm not going to read out the whole thing because it goes on for a long time, but it's very easy to read. He's got a great writing style, and definitely check out his book. It's called The Coming Wave. It came out a couple of years ago, but it's very prescient, and everything that he's saying in it is happening. So he knows what he's talking about.